All right, one thing I wanted to mention was regarding the formal report. And for the discussion section, what I noticed that some people did was they talked a lot about the percent yield. You know, the discussion shouldn't be about the percent yield. Percent yield is part of it, but the discussion should primarily be trying to. Okay, thanks. Trying to prove that what you say you synthesized is what you synthesized. Now, how do you prove that those crystals that you form are indeed the product that you were after? Well, it's not just the color, but there's more to it because there are lots of things that form black crystals. Right, the reactions. So what you have to do is you have to walk somebody through all the reactions, saying that, you know, we have this redox reaction, and then we have this, you know, acid-base metathesis. You know, no, you can write them net ionic is fine, you know, but you need to show all the reactions. In fact, it was probably preferred to show it in net ionic form. But, you know, so one thing is you have to show somebody that it makes sense. This is what the product is. And the way you show that is by showing them the chemistry, by showing them the reactions. And so this is why you need to talk about the reactions in your discussion section. Not only that, you can add a lot to the paper by talking about things like oxidizing agents, reducing agents, strengths, this type of stuff, you know, ligands, etc. And so you're going to spend most of your time trying to convince somebody that what you say you synthesized is indeed what you synthesized. You know, do you have absolute proof of this? No. I mean, if it were perfect, then you would need a lot more money and a lot of time to finish it. But, you know, this is the way science is. You know, even though it's not done in the technical sense, nothing ever is. And so you stop at a point where you have enough information and then you write about it. And so based on the information that you have, this is what you suspect you synthesized. But, you know, you have one advantage, and the one advantage is other people have synthesized the same thing. And so there are some properties of this product that are known, and you can compare it to that. You know, if this were truly an unknown, then you would want a complete analysis. You know, what is the composition of this? What is the structure? That type of stuff, where you might use, you know, elemental analysis or X-ray diffraction. Okay. Is that clear regarding that? Now, how do you know the purity? You know, a lot of people, they just said, well, they could be impure. There could be impurities in there. But, you know, we would think it would be pretty pure because why? Well, it should be pretty pure because we call that, you know, yeah, crystal growth, or we did things, right? What types of things did we do? We did washings, right? We did washings to wash off, and you should know what the impurities are. This is where it might be helpful to have the complete equation rather than the net ionic, because then you can see what kinds of impurities you might expect. You could talk about those as well, and those would be effectively washed out. And then we tacked on an extra step, and the extra step was to recrystallize it. But the initial crystallization should help as well, right? The impurities should stay in the solution, hopefully. And so those are the types of things you need to talk about in the discussion, not that you got this many grams of this. You know, a lot of people said, oh, I got this many grams of product, but, you know, they never explained, you know, why should we believe that you actually have the product? You need to explain this, you know, from the start to the finish. if well, anyway. All right, so that's what I'm looking for in the discussion. That, and then you can start talking about the percent yield, that type of stuff. All right, any questions on the paper? Anthony?
So we're filtering it again today. Is the unknown still due on Thursday?
Unknown is still due on Thursday. This morning's class, just to give you an idea, is that some people have already run through their unknown twice. They did it once and they repeated the whole thing. And they started on their anions today. But it depends on what unknown you get. You know, some unknowns take a little more time than others. All right, anything else? Yeah, so the situation is, if you think you're going to need extra time, you can come to the morning lab. The morning lab meets from 9:30 to about 1. And so you're welcome to come there on Thursday if you want additional time for your unknown. Okay. All right, so I'll give you most of the lab period today. I'm going to stop talking now and go ahead and get started.